Hello, everyone. Luis Lopez here. I wanted to go over a couple things with you that is a response to the basics of for recording signal flow that you see below you, and give you an example of an actual interface that I have laying around. As you've gone over, those four different types of audio signal that we covered: mic level, which is coming straight out of a mic. There's instrument level from a bass or a guitar or keyboard. There's line level, and then there's speaker level. We're only going to be talking about three of them. Those are the most common ones we're going to be that you are going to be interacting with constantly as a musician. So on this interface, we have the mic inputs. They take this XLR input. You can always tell it's a balanced input because it has three connectors on it. And then we're going to plug that in. And then that goes directly to this thing called a preamp, a microphone preamp. The the only reason these exist is to make that little teeny signal up to that line level signal. So whether it's a mic input or an instrument input, this brings it up to line level. Remember, a microphone input is about, I don't know, 200 times a smaller signal than line level. An instrument signal is about 100 times smaller than a line level signal. So this does quite a lot of heavy lifting beforehand. And this is all electrical, meaning it's analog, right? So the next thing it has to go into is a converter to convert it into a digital signal. There are in bigger studios they have this as a separate device, but all interfaces are designed to do the conversion inside the box. So all this analog stuff that's happening here gets converted to a digital signal and then connects to your computer with some digital cable. This is old and out of date FireWire, but nowadays it's all USB or USB C or Thunderbolt cables are often used. There's lots of other ones that we can talk about. But in any case, it turns into a digital signal. Okay. Um, the other thing it does, it takes it before it goes into a digital signal, it actually routes it to your headphones so you can actually hear it from the inputs of your headphones here. Um, but once it goes to your computer, gets converted into your digital signal, it gets written to your hard drive or onto your computer's hard drive. Um, and then can be played back, right? So the first place it goes, where it gets recorded to, is your hard drive, right? Whether it's on your computer or an external hard drive. You can do all these things in the DAW, add effects, add reverb, change the level with the fader. We'll go over that in the next video. But in any case, it comes right back out of your interface and gets converted again inside the box to from a digital signal to an analog signal. From that analog signal, it goes out these analog outputs. These are almost always line level outputs. When it gets converted to line level, you can do absolutely anything with it. You can go to other devices, you can go into a mixing board, you can go into a type of effect. You can go into some powered speakers if you wanted to. It's a level that is the most common in a recording studio, other than mic signals. But you can see here that there's also inputs here, right? I have, you'll often see on interfaces, they'll have like, it has four mic inputs and two mic inputs and two line inputs. Those line inputs, you can't just plug a microphone into them or plug a guitar into them. They have to go through an external preamp or a mixer of some kind to be brought up to line level and then go in, right? So if you do have a mixer lying around or have external preamps that are just separate from your interface, you can use those line level inputs as separate inputs and record multiple mics at once. But in any case, when it gets converted out of digital back to analog, we have our line outputs, right? This has multiple outputs, so it has about 6. That's fairly common because sometimes you want to do go to multiple speakers, or you want to go to a separate device, or you just want to route it to different places. Let's say if you're doing a 5.1 mix, a surround sound mix, you can route it to individual speakers. And then, of course, it can be sent out your headphone mix as well, and get to your headphones and go to your ears. So that's it. Remember, you got your Phantom Power to go to your condenser microphones, and your monitor output. Monitor is just a fancy word for your speakers, right? Your external speakers, which are plugged into the back via these line outs here. Usually line out 1 and 2. Okay. All right, guys. If you have any questions about equipment or specific questions about how to route for recording, you can come visit me in my office hours. Take care, everyone.